Hard work is fundamental to achieving success. Sometimes that work ethic can turn an average junior into a top prospect, a #1 ranked college player, a future tour professional, and subsequently a Division I coach. When it comes to tennis, very few have worked as hard as Bobby Reynolds.
He was not the most talented player I've ever had, but nobody outworked Bobby Reynolds.
I think Bobby always had an understanding that he wasn't the best athlete, but he knew he was going to have to outwork his competition.
Reynolds grew up in Ackworth, Georgia, and followed his sister, former Georgia Tech player Debbie Reynolds, into junior tennis.
Yeah, when Bobby was in juniors, he incrementally just kept getting better every year. Like, he didn't really have a lull. He didn't really take a big jump at any point in time. It wasn't until he was probably about 15 that you kind of saw something special when you said, hey, this kid might be able to do something in college or beyond college.
As Bobby began to mold his game, he became a standout player at Harrison High School, playing #1 singles for the Hoyas.
The high school experience for a lot of top players, Bobby's no exception, meant a lot to them just because it was a team, something on the line, obviously a chance to go to state. It means what it means to every other kid playing at a high level in high school sports, but for tennis even more because you've rarely been part of a team the whole time.
Through hard work and intense junior training, Reynolds started to make a name for himself. In the summer of 2000, he entered the USTA Boys 18 Nationals in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Unseeded, he became one of only 3 Georgians to make the round of 32.
And most players getting ready for college at that time would have gone home. They would have either pulled out of the tournament or they would have just not tried that hard and let the matches go. But he just dug in and just started winning match after match after match, just showing incredible grit all the way to the finals of the back draw where he finished 6th. And again, it just showed me that one trait that I love in every player, and that is that ability to fight and compete. And nobody was better than Bobby when it came to that.
As Reynolds climbed the junior rankings, colleges started to notice. And in the end, he chose Vanderbilt University, a struggling tennis program at the time, but the academics, coupled with the opportunity to play immediately in the SEC, were very attractive.
Here we are going into the college recruiting. A lot of it was a shock to him because, again, he still's not feeling like he's that top tier recruit, but they liked him for what they saw, how he got there. He got there through the hard work.
And Vanderbilt obviously is a great university. He's going to get a great academic education, and plus he was going to go in and play #1. Now, he took a lot of losses his freshman year playing #1, but here again, he got the great match experience to improve his game.
Bobby had a lot of options. And when it got narrowed down to 2 schools, Vanderbilt and Illinois, I knew that was going to be a really tricky decision for Bobby. I knew that would weigh on him. And for the weeks leading up until his decision, he was flipping and flopping. And when we kind of compared the schools, I just believed that Vandy was a better school for him because he would be able to develop faster there, going in and being one of the top players where he didn't have to stress about making the lineup. He also could go in and be a leader.
It was a tough start in Nashville, but Bobby improved his game every single year. Then in his junior season in 2003, he completely broke through, becoming the Southeastern Conference Player of the Year and the NCAA Tournament's Most Outstanding Player. He led Vanderbilt to its first NCAA championship match. Reynolds remains the only Georgia men's player to finish #1 in the ITA singles rankings.
To finish the year #1 ITA, I think is very unique because there were so many good guys. Sort of look at that group that graduated with, or that junior class that came out. So many of those guys became legitimate pro tennis players, and Bobby beat all of them that year.
His sophomore year, his body just filled out. He just finally became a man, and all of a sudden he was able to do things with the ball and with his serve physically that before that he wasn't able to do. So his junior year just really kicked off, and at that point, his game exploded, and he just dominated college tennis.
Reynolds' junior year in Nashville was so impressive that he had the opportunity to turn pro.
The only thing he didn't do in his junior year was win the whole thing individually, but I think he felt like there wasn't much else to accomplish going back, so he made the decision to turn pro.
Reynolds joined the Pro Tour that summer and broke into the top 100 in less than 2 years. He then reached the 3rd round of the 2005 Australian Open, where he beat number 17 seed Andre Pavel in straight sets before losing to Rafael Nadal.
I think that whole year, a lot of things came together for Bobby. He was starting to realize his ball was as big as anybody's. He didn't have to overplay. And he started to realize that as good as he was in college, he was now that good on the pro tour.
By the time he had gotten to the third round of the Australian Open, he was now putting dents into other tournaments. But clearly, he had to qualify there, and to beat a seed at that level, I think was the first time he had really started thinking, hey, I may be a true ATP player here.
In 2009, Reynolds attained a career-high ranking of 63 on the ATP Tour and got as high as 46 in doubles. He defeated 39 top 100 players in his career, including former top 10 players John Isner, Tomas Berdych, and Marat Safin. He also advanced to at least 2 rounds in all 4 majors. He won 1 ATP Tour doubles event, the 2006 RCA Championships in Indianapolis, when he partnered with Andy Roddick.
They both got along really well, and that carried over to the tennis court. They were just literally finishing each other's sentences on the court, and it was really cool to see.
Reynolds had an unheard of 35 ATP Challenger Pro titles, 10 in singles and 25 in doubles.
And I think if you asked any pro player that spent their career between 50 and 150, how hard it is to protect points that are coming off. And the fact that Bobby did it enough to be ranked that high on the ATP Tour for that many weeks is an absolute testament to him.
Bobby Reynolds spent 67 weeks in the top 100 of the ATP Tour. That's the second most for Georgia-grown players, only behind Robbie Ginepri at 359.
Not many people gave him a chance coming up through juniors that he would have a pro career, and he just kept proving people wrong. He kept getting better, and for him to have that kind of sustainability, out on tour against those players, was remarkable.
When his time on the tour came to an end, he played 4 seasons of World Team Tennis with the Washington Castles.
I think he would tell you that was his favorite part of pro tennis. Bobby was not only surrounded by an owner who coveted his players, but he just loved the team format. And for Bobby to sort of be in the forefront for them, I think was a good fit, not just for Bobby and his personality, but for Mark, the owner as well.
After his career on the court, Reynolds found work as a collegiate assistant at the University of Oklahoma, leading the Sooners to an NCAA runner-up appearance in 2016. The very next season, he was named head coach at Auburn University, a position he still holds today.
I think he's one of the best college coaches that I know because of his own story of how he did it, but also he's now been, once he's been there over 10 years, he is that college coach that you want to play for.
In over a decade on the Plains, he's led the Tigers to 143 wins and 5 NCAA tournament appearances.
When you look at his absolute success and the number of wins he's had over the last several years, I would argue he is the most underrated college coach in the country.
Through hard work and perseverance, Bobby Reynolds became one of the best players to ever hail from the Peach State.
He's going to be one of the top 10 in the Georgia Tennis Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to Bobby Reynolds, a 2026 inductee into the Georgia Tennis Hall of Fame.